So let's start today's session. Thank you everyone for joining. It's really amazing to see all of you here. Uh, Today's session, as I said in the message, is all about inspiring leaders and inspiring organizations. And this is a book called Start with Why, written by Simon Sinek, who is a very inspirational leader and author. I came across this book around 5, 6 years ago when I was going through the leadership workshop, and somebody gave reference to this book. And I was curious about the title, Start with Why. And I was like, why this person is writing an entire book on this title? Isn't it obvious? We always start with why. So, then I started looking at the videos and the quotes, and it was really very insightful. And then I decided to read this book, and then I became fan. And ever since I read this, I have gifted at least 7 to 8 copies to my friends that you should read this book. Wherever I see somebody starting some new venture, I tell them read this book first. And there is a reason why. And at the end of the session, you will also realize why it is so important to start with why. So let us start. And with this session, I'm also kind of soft launching Hearts and Minds Academy, which is my new venture in partnership with Lena. So I seek your support and blessings for this new venture. So as they say, all answers come from spirituality, and you know everything is there. Whatever we are looking for, everything can be found in spirituality. So my role model, Sant Tukaram, who is the 17th century saint from Maharashtra. Uh, his poetry is known as Abhang, and I found one quote very relevant to today's session. So I thought, let me include this. It will set a right context. And somebody from quantum entrepreneurship also asked me whether there is going to be a spiritual component to this session, and I said yes, but uh, I wanted to really start with this. So the quote is in Marathi, and I'll translate in English. The quote is, uh, "Bole taisa chale, त्याची वंदावी पावले," which means bow down to those people who walk the talk. So wherever we see that there is a complete integration of thoughts, words, and actions, those people are respectable. That's what the quote says, and it's really so true. You know, in our life also, we respect those people who has this kind of integration with them, because they are only one person. They don't have multiple faces, and we love those people. We respect those people. So, uh, you know, whatever spiritual wisdom is there, it's in certain form. And today's leaders use that wisdom to interpret in the current context and explain us so that it is easy to understand for us. So when I was reading this book, I came across many quotes which had this relevance. And that's the same thing I'll explain now. So Manisha, can you please go to the next slide? So the entire book is based on this single diagram, what is referred as golden circle. As you see, it's actually three circles when seen from top view. The innermost circle is why, the second is how, and the outermost is what. When you see from the side view, it will look like a cone, uh, top being why, the second being how, and the bottom being what. So this is the center idea of this book, and the book says start with why. So naturally, the journey starts from inside, and the core is why. And we'll see what is why, what is how, and what is what. So why? Why is the purpose, the cause, the reason of the organization to exist? Why the organization exists in the first place? Is being referred as why. And as a matter of surprise, very few organizations have a clear sense of why. And in next few slides, I will give some examples which will really baffle you that why these organizations are selling so and so products which are not resonating to their purpose. And that's when the organizations go wrong. Even though they have great legacy, great foundations, great market share, still they go wrong. And very small companies who has no market share, who has no legacy, no experience, but still they give them tough fight. So is being referred as why, the belief, the cause, or the purpose of the organization. The outer circle, second outer circle is how. This is where the principles and values of the organizations are defined. From how comes the competitive advantage of the organization. Uh, this is how the organizations operate. So the leadership operates from why. They know, the founders know why the organizations exist. So this is the why from where the founders of the organization or the top leadership, senior leadership, CEOs, they operate from. They know, they understand why the organization exists. For outside world, it may or may not be clear, But as a scientific research says that very few organizations understand why they exist. Organizations don't have clear sense of why, and if the founders have left organizations and they have handed over the ship to the new captain need to understand the same belief system, same purpose of the organization, and he needs to carry the legacy forward. He needs to build upon that purpose, and that's why they call it as succession planning. When new leaders are being identified and given top positions, it is called as succession planning. So succession is nothing but continuation of the purpose. So why, how, the competency, the principles, the values set by the organization, how every organization should work. For example, I work with a financial organization, and we have clear set of risk frameworks, clear set of rules, what is allowed, what is not allowed, which forms the culture of the organization. And this is a very tricky part and the most difficult part for any organization to make it right. And we will see why. So the outermost layer is what? This is what the customers see about the organization, the products and services. From this layer, customers know what is that organization, what it stands for, and whether that organization is trustworthy or not. So almost every organization know what they do because they are in the business of selling either products or services. Depends on the type of the enterprise. So what is a very clear thing? What the organization is selling? How is somewhat subjective, and why is beyond words. Why is very difficult to explain, and we'll see how great organizations make these three things in right context. So great organizations are those who has a clear sense of why. Why do they exist? What is their cause or what is their belief for their existence for starting the organizations? Discipline of how. Discipline word is very important here because every organization has how, standard operating procedures, processes, protocols, every organization has. But the discipline to continue and to maintain that processes, value system, and principles intact is what is important. Every great organization you will see has a strict code of operating in a certain way, and they have discipline. Discipline means just this, that you will continue to behave in a way even though no one is watching you. If this kind of discipline exists in an organization, then congratulations. The what part is the consistency part. Is the organization delivering consistently the same level of quality of their product and services? Nowadays, we see a lot of organizations compete from this layer of quality products and good customer service and good ecosystem, whether the company is offering just a product or it is offering an entire platform, suite of products, etc., etc. But this is a very thin layer to compete based on this layer. It is very difficult to compete. So great organizations are those who has clear sense of why, the discipline of how, and the consistency of what they are doing. So reading the slide, it's isn't is doesn't it sound very easy that okay, clarity of why one should have a clear purpose. Manisha, can you please go to back slide. Yeah. So when we read this right first time, uh, it sounds very easy. Clarity of why. Okay, have discipline. Okay, we will set the rules and we will have managers hire so that teammates and employees behave in a certain way. They follow the process. And consistency. Yes, we will have a quality standards, Six Sigma. We will implement Six Sigma and the best practices of the industry, and we will consistently deliver this quality products and services. It sounds so easy, right? But then why all organizations are not able to do it? And there is a very, very big scientific reason. Uh, Manisha ji, please, next slide. And the reason is biological. The way our brain is designed is the why part, the inner part, and the how part is controlled by a part of the brain called limbic brain. This part of the brain is responsible for, feeling and understanding things. And this part of the brain decides certain things. It takes decision. Okay, I want this car. I want this piece of the land. I want this thing. The decision. Okay, I love this girl. If the girl asks the boy, "Why do you love me?" the boy cannot explain, because the part which decides and the part which expresses, the outer part, the what part, is neocortex. It is responsible for language and expression. So there are two parts of the brain who are responsible for taking the decision, the limbic brain, and the part which expresses, communicates, is neocortex. And if you see human evolution of last 4 lakh years of human existence, scientists say the neocortex is comparatively a new development in human than the limbic brain. So everybody is not at the same level of expression and communication. So it's very difficult. If you see in ancient times, the highest intelligent person used to be the poets, the rishis who used to wrote Ramayana or Mahabharata, Mahakavya. Their highest accomplishment used to be the poetry. So in that context, uh, what and why are decided by two parts of the brain. That's why what we saw in the last slide, that the clarity of why, of course, the founder, the leader, the CEO of the organization know why the organization exists, what is the purpose. It is very clear in his head. Now it is his job to make sure that everybody in the organization understands it clearly. Once the second level of leadership, third level of leadership, and the employees and the customers, till the products and services reach customers, that why, that purpose, that cause has to be conveyed in the same way. If there is certain dilution along the way, then that why loses its importance. So far with me, any question? Sorry, I won't pause. I was just going in a flow. Any comment?
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
you
yeah.
did not understand?
Mukul, just go back the two, three sentences. Just go back and explain it again, please.
Which sentence?
Just before this, you said no that everybody has to be in the flow with why, otherwise it will get
Clarity.
distorted. Just
Manisha ji, can
before
you go
that,
to the
yeah.
back?
Just before. No, no, not this, not this. This limbic brain you were explaining. That just explain it a little more, please.
Right. So as I said, for example, let me just give a current example. A month ago, I bought a car, right? So when we were discussing, I was discussing with Lena, and Lena said, "You will buy Seltos." And I asked her why. No, I like Seltos. She has no idea what are the features that come with the car. What kind of engine we should buy. But she just said, "No, I like this. I want this car." And then I figure it out. Okay, what are the features that are coming with the car? Does it fit with my driving passion? What engine to buy? Which color, and how much, which model, top model, sports model, what version, what fuel type, manual transmission or automatic transmission. Those are the features that I then figure it out. But first, the decision was already taken by Lina. Okay, I want this car. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from the limbic brain? We just decide something and then we use features to justify our decision. This is a typical function of limbic brain. We just like something. In Hindi, if there are lovers, the boys tease the boy, the friends. दिल आ गया गधी पे परी क्या चीज है. लोगों को दूसरों को लगता है कि अरे इसने इस लड़की में क्या देखा. तुम्हें नहीं पता वो लड़के ने क्या देखा, उसका वाई तुम्हें नहीं पता है. It's a love affair. He can't explain you why he loves that girl. You know, it is the neocortex which is responsible for expression, but everybody is not good at it. So that communication part is handled by a different part of the brain, and the decision part is handled by the different part of brain, which is limbic brain. Purnamji, am I clear?
Yes, Mukul, yeah, but in corporates, how do you explain that why down the line?
That's where the principles and values of the organization comes into picture. Just to communicate that why clearly, yeah.
Okay,
For example,
okay,
in my organization, the clear why is Bank of America exists to make financial lives better. This is the why of our organization. But to make it understand to each and every person in the organization, there are more than 2 lakh employees. How do you explain them? What is, because it can be different for different people. Making financial lives better means what? Just distribute loan to everybody. Their financial lives will be better. No, it doesn't work that way. So there are certain principles and values has to be set by the leaders of the organization, so that everybody in the organization understand what is the vision, what is the purpose that organization exists, and how to crystallize that vision so that the products and the services can be offered to the customer, and that purpose remains intact. I know it's the most difficult slide of the presentation to understand, I believe, because there is the entire book is based on this one slide, the limbic brain and the neocortex. But just try to correlate with your decisions, whatever decisions you might have taken in the life. Most of our decisions are not logical. We first decide something and then we use logic to surround, to protect that decision.
So,
Okay,
Mukul,
this is why I have chosen.
let me try to explain in the context of Quanto Life.
Yeah, sure.
So, why does Quanto Life exist? Because the world has suddenly become very chaotic and it is finding very difficult to deal with the chaos. And Quanto Life exists so that that chaos can turn into creation. That's why the Quanto Life exists, right?
Absolutely.
How is okay? So how is we need to help people dissolve their subconscious? We need to help them connect with the cosmic qualities. And and what is the workshop, etc. we offer? Every program we offer is the what?
Absolutely. Great example. Poonamji,
Suppose
let me give you one more example.
somebody start to
Yeah,
just
okay.
offer. Suppose somebody says कि अच्छा चलो क्वांटो लाइफ का ये डिसॉल्व योर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स वर्कशॉप है मैं भी करता हूँ. Maybe that person can do that, but that person maybe he may even have the access to कि यार ये सबकॉन्शियस डिसॉल्व करना है चलो मैं भी ट्राई करता हूँ. But why? Unless that person understand the chaos and how life has become the speed of the life has gone up so much and we need to flow in that speed. Unless that person understand that, I mean, these workshops cannot be delivered just by following what we do. I mean, those workshops will fail in no time. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Shiva. One interesting example is coming to my mind, which I derived by joining a lot of dots. It's not in the book. We all know the famous speech given by Sri Vivekananda, right, in Chicago. Right, we all know just by saying brothers and sisters, the entire crowd applauded him for almost 2 3 years. Everybody was standing and clapping. Why did that happen? Why people so got impressed? Was it because of the words brothers and sisters? Does anyone know? Anyone want to comment or throw some light? Feel free to say. There is nothing to be judged.
Yeah, there is nothing much in brothers and sisters because in Christianity, they anyhow call each other brothers and sisters, right?
Right.
No, but I feel he actually, uh, made the difference between male, female, or whatever, like from other continent, disappear by just calling it brothers and sisters. Like he made them one, according to that's what I feel.
So my what I think is, I think there is something deeper than even why, and that is who, like who you are. More, and I think that is like the inner circle of that why also, like who the person is. And I think it is the who that Swami Vivekanand was, and he was just radiating that. I think even today people feel that radiation of his, of who he is, and that is what they respond to.
It's an interesting perspective, Mansi. I will share in the end about who is there in the circle, but it's not visible.
Oh, it's there क्या?
Yeah, it's there. It's
अच्छा,
implicit.
अच्छा मुझे
It's
नहीं दिख रहा
implicit.
है. अच्छा,
So
वो इनविजिबल
yeah.
है क्या? इनविजिबल.
So
मुकुल
one wonderful perspective, Mansi. Anybody else?
मुकुल जी, मुझे उसका याद आया, आपने जो लड़की का बोला था ना, अभी गद्दी का दिल आ गया,
हाँ हाँ
तो
हाँ
वो लैला का भी सेम केस है। लैला दिखने में इतनी सुंदर नहीं थी बिल्कुल भी। तो राजा ने
हाँ
उसे
हाँ
पूछा मजनू को बुला के कि हाँ भैया तू लैला को बुला के लाओ भैया, अपना जो इतना ये मजनू बना हुआ है बंदा, तो मुझे लैला देखनी है। तो जब
हम्म।
लैला को उसने राजा ने देखा तो उसने हैरान हो गया कि कह रहा कि इसके पीछे उसने उसे बुलाया, उसे मजनू को। तो उसने कहा कि इससे कितनी अच्छी अच्छी जो सी हैं वो मैं तुम्हारे सामने पेश करता हूँ। तो वो उसने तब भी मना कर दिया। तो उसका वाय वही था ना, वही जो कि उसका,
Right, right. But let me come
उसने
back to
कहा
the
लैला की खूबसूरती
example.
देखनी है तो तुमको मेरी आंख चाहिए।
Yeah.
हाँ
Yeah.
लैला की
बिल्कुल।
खूबसूरती देखने के लिए तुम्हें मेरी आंख चाहिए। हाँ मेरी आंख चाहिए, बिल्कुल।
Right. So thank you, Sandeep ji. So coming back to Vivekananda's example, I was so so happy to realize that somebody clarified that in one of the speeches that Vivekananda ji wasn't the first person to address Americans as brothers and sisters. Before him, there were at least 3 4 speakers, not in that conference, but till that point of time, the Americans had already listened to 3 4 speakers who had addressed them as brothers and sisters. So it wasn't about the word brothers and sisters. These words were not new for Americans. But when Vivekanand ji pronounced those words with that bhatru bhav, it connected them. That connection happened, and that connection happened at the limbic brain level. And whoever has ever been an inspiring leader, he has always made that connection at the limbic brain level. You take any great speakers, leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King, anyone, any big examples, they have always appealed to the limbic brain of the people. Even the great organizations of today's time, when they create any advertisements, they always make a point to appeal to this part of the brain because that's where the decision is being made. That's where people decide, okay, I want to associate with this organization, I want to associate with this leader because he makes sense to me. I understand him. I can feel what he's saying, what he represents. I I believe in his belief. You know, all the great brands. The author talks a lot about Apple, Harley Davidson. There are a number of brands. My favorite brand is Nike. Every commercial of Nike is about honoring the athletes. That's the cause they stand for. They honor all the athletes who do the right thing. They have also done very controversial ads, but they are ready to take that risk because they stand by why. That why is very clear. Same thing with Apple. Apple's why is challenge the status quo. Whatever is the status quo, what is the current thing, always challenge it. So they will always come up with revolutionary products because they want to challenge the current scenario. I can go on and on, but we have time limitations, so we'll just move forward. So next, I think this is 50% clear to most of the people now, limbic brain and neocortex, right? Let's move to the next slide, which is the most important slide of the presentation. So when the leaders are able to create a culture where the purpose is very clear to the organization, we call it as a culture code. We call this as integration of heart and mind, because mind is how kind of people, usually how and what kind of people, what to be done, tell me what product to be sold, what service to be designed. When this heart and mind integration happens, that's when the culture is born in the organization. And culture is the biggest asset of every organization. Culture does wonders. That's what they say. So the organizations which are well managed, who has good culture, strong culture, they are usually not impacted by departure of any particular leader. And the organizations which don't have a strong culture, they get severely impacted by departure of the top level leadership or any market crisis. Because when crisis comes, no one knows what to do, because there is no culture code to follow, clear culture code to follow. Every organization has a culture, but we cannot call every culture as a strong culture. So culture, I would like to expand on this more, but we have time limitation. But culture is nothing but a by default behavior. What will you do by default? Even when nobody is supervising you, what will you do by default? That is called as culture of the organization. So when this heart and mind integration happens, culture happens, and that's when the inspiring leaders and inspiring organizations are born. So far we have covered the theory part of this, of course, the principles given in the book and the theoretical explanations. Now we will see the example. I have given some examples so that it will be easy to understand, and I'll also try to correlate with this difficult part of limbic brain and neocortex. So Manisha ji, please next slide. So Jayashree Foundation, this is the organization I started 4 years ago, and I was reading this book. I still read this book every now and then because it is so much to understand all the time. Then I was very clear that what is the purpose of this organization. The purpose of the organization is to do seva, well-being of everything. I'll serve everybody. No discrimination whatsoever. No caste, religion, language, state, creed, race, color, nothing. No discrimination at all. The purpose is very clear, well-being of every being. So this is the purpose that we operate from. When I was operating from this purpose was very generic. You know, I was clear in my heart what I have to do, but I did not have a strong team, strong minds who will make this vision crystallize and actually make it happen, so that the people who see this organization understand why Jayashree Foundation exists. And that's when we started building a volunteer base. You see this photograph is our first COVID relief activity from April 2020. We launched this care campaign, Corona Aid Relief and Empathy campaign, to help the victims. And if you see, I'm nowhere there. I'm nowhere there. Everything is done by volunteers, and look at the people how systematically they are standing. This is called culture, culture of the organizations. When the why is clear of the organizations, the team understand the minds, the heart and mind integration happens. People know what to be done, how it needs to be done. And it was the biggest activity, first and the biggest activity of the entire care campaign. Without me being there, all I did is I deposited check in the grocery shop's account. That's all. That's all I did. And the tempo that you see standing behind, that was sent by the grocery shop owner himself. He said, "You are doing good job. I will provide you the vehicle from my side free of cost." You see, the packets were already uh, prepared. We just distributed on that spot. So much of discipline. This is heart and mind integration. So we got this award from a very well-known person from UAE called Venkat Krishnamurthy, who is a Guinness Book of World Record holder in charity. And I'm very grateful to Sandhya, who introduced me to this person when I shared our activities. He was very impressed, and he awarded us this Illuminary Award. So much connected, and they take so much pride associating with that brand. So it is about matching the belief system in simple words, right? So we'll take a commercial example. Lina's YouTube channel, all of you are aware. You know, only 5 videos have contributed to 8.4 lakhs views, and it's still counting. And we don't even have a 10,000 subscriber base. This is one of the commercial examples wherein when everything is integrated, hearts and minds are integrated. People feel the connection. People love you. People want to know more about you, and that's where we receive so many views, even with less subscriber base. So far these were successful examples, but this journey wasn't all rosy. These are the experiments that I did, in last 10 years almost. Ghardar.com. This was about real estate website that I wanted to launch because there was a real estate boom in Mumbai 10 years ago. Didn't fly. Passionate IT, rural BPO idea. I was very fascinated because rural areas have less operating costs, less attrition. That too, if you hire ladies, even lower attrition. So there was a very big value proposition, and I had this idea. Me and my brother wanted to start. For some reasons, it didn't work out. Then same thing about Happiness King, Neuro Wonders. Neuro Wonders is very close to my heart because this was a yoga meditation center, yoga and meditation center, plus music class. We wanted to run a self-sufficient Atmanirbhar kind of center because yoga and meditation was taught freely. And to recover the cost, we started music classes. Wonderful experiment, but we had to close it down. So these are the experiences of opening the ventures I have gone through over past many years, and I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot from network marketing. The best thing to start in the business, I feel, is network marketing. It will improve your self image a lot. You will realize a lot of aspects of business without actually being investing anything. So all these my experiences of all success and failures, I have put into venture now, which is called Hearts and Minds Academy. Right. So Hearts and Minds Academy is a brainchild of the Quantum Entrepreneurship Program that I'm going through currently. It is a entrepreneurship development program by Quanto Life, mentored by Shivo and Mansi. It's a wonderful program. When I joined this program, I had no clear business idea in my mind, but I still joined because there was a lot of how should I put in, lot of exploration happening about the ideas, and it was giving a lot of insights. And in a month or so, it clicked me that okay, I can do something related to branding because I have a very deep interest. I have deep interest in organization culture building, how organizations work, why small organizations give tough competition to the big organizations. As Mansi said, when we'll discuss the culture code, then you'll see, we will discuss about this. We'll also see the story of David and Goliath, the nuances of that story. Very few people know the details of that story. So, so this is in short a learning and development platform to create inspiring brands and also to come up with business development strategies, how the businesses should be developed with all Quanto entrepreneurship principles. So the two programs are on my mind and heart at the moment. One is the art of brand making, and the other one is purpose-driven marketing. So soon I'll draft these programs in a workshop format, and I will let you know. If you are interested to know about this, you are most welcome to join me. I also have a wisdom circle created to brainstorm on these ideas, and I'm really grateful to Shiva and Mansi for launching a wonderful program like Quantum Entrepreneurship. It's a very uh, valuable would be a very small word. It's a program ahead of time. I would say that even though I did not have any business idea in mind, I developed the idea during the program itself. So you can understand the explorative power of this program.
So
So more on
Mukul,
this
I'm
later.
really very happy to see that the quantum entrepreneurship program has actually resulted into creation of a venture.
and I mean it is born in a very high conscious space. And
Yes, sure.
my best wishes for this.
Thank you, Shiv. And I have waited so long for this. I used to hear quantum entrepreneurship, and then I used to wonder when are we actually going to launch this. But everything has a right time. When the hearts and minds meet, things happen. So here we are. The opportunities are for everyone. And as a last slide, I want to give my gratitude to the author Simon, and his quote is very very insightful. The quote says, "People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it." There's a lot of wisdom in this statement. Why people feel connected to certain organizations, and why people simply don't connect with the other organizations, even though there are more quality products and services available.
So Mukul, my suggestion is you can hold a ideation session on Adda
Mhm.
or your website. So you make presentation of your plans and everybody will ideate.
Sure, sure.
Mukul,
Definitely sure.
I have to go to AD, but thank
Yes,
you
we are
so
done. We
much.
are done, Mansi.
Yeah, sorry. Y'all can
Yes.
continue. But yeah, I'm looking forward to your culture. And about the David and Goliath, you might want to check out this description by Malcolm Gladwell.
That's exactly I was referring to.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. It is one of my favorite. Cool.
Oh man,
Meeting, यहाँ meeting
great
of
author.
minds and heart हो रहा है.
Yes,